we saw an assignment program without using binary function, inbuilt function, uh, print the binary equivalent of an entered decimal value. Nice, 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 nice. Amit has sent it beautifully. I expect much more. I expected much more lengthier solution, but he has done it efficiently. Kudos. Shout out to Amit. Yes. Next. Anybody else? Aditya has done it. Aditya has adopted a different strategy. Nice. This is one wonderful solution. Right. Soumya has done it. Binary to oh, recursion. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Soumya has made use of recursion. Look at our solution. Beautiful. Beautiful, Soumya. Next, Karthik has done it. You can go ahead with Soumya solution. I am really impressed with Soumya solution. So am I with Aditya's solution. Right? Amit has also come up with a beautiful solution. Yes, you can refer these three solutions. Uh, yes, sine, cos, pi constant, then sqrt. We saw that. Right? Then we saw user defined functions. Then we went ahead with assignment. Take a number and print it. Digit by digit forward, digit by digit, I new line, right? In a conventional way, right? That we have done. Please paste. Anybody paste the solution onto the chat box? Yes. All right. Amit has done it. He has used string. I specifically asked you not to use string, right? String operations, just like that, we can do it, right? I wanted you to use arithmetic operators without changing the data type, right? It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate your effort. Yeah. Anybody else who hasn't used string functions? Yes. Correct. No problem. Then we okay. I'll send out the solutions later. Right. Then we saw about return keyword. Yes. How we can use it. And the when you are not sending anything and just returning the value. I mean, just using the return keyword. What is the data type the function is being returning? Yes. When you are not putting anything in front of return keyword, what is the data type returned by the statement return? It's called none type. Yes, it's correct. It's called none type. Right. Then we saw a program, so on and so forth. Yeah, last program we have seen write a function to accept a number and return true if the number is prime, else false. Here you go. Lists. Today's session will be purely based on dictionaries and lists. I understand that I had sent in agenda that I'll be discussing recursion lists, tuples, and dictionaries. And as I went through the concepts, I realized that it's humongous. It's huge in size. So if I'm running through the concepts, I'm not going to do justice for the concepts now. Neither I'm going to do justice for you. So what I've decided, I'm going to take up lists and dictionaries independently today. Tomorrow we'll see sets and tuples, and the next day we'll go ahead with recursion. Recursion is something complex. It is used in designing algorithms, making efficient programs, right? So it requires a bit more understanding and concentration. So let's keep it for last. And one of the wonderful things which you could do in programming is by recursion. There are some programs, there are some problems which can only be solved by recursion and nothing else, right? So yeah, those things you learn in design and analysis of algorithm, which is out of the scope. It is again a wonderful subject. I request all of you people to go through it. We have dynamic programming, we have greedy method, we have divide and conquer, we have decrease and conquer. So many beautiful topics. I request all of you to go through it. As of now, let's go ahead with lists. What are lists? Lists are nothing but an ordered, mutable, heterogeneous collection of data. I repeat, it is an ordered, mutable, heterogeneous collection of data. Right? In C programming, for the people who know C programming, it is a cousin of array. Right? In array, you can store only ordered, mutable, similar data type of constants. But here you can store an integer, you can store a floating point number, you can store a string, you can store a list itself inside a list, inside a single list. So let's see how to go about this. We have there are two ways in which you can declare lists. One is here, as you can see in very first line, the name of the list. Again, it can be a variable name. as we discussed before, and followed by an assignment operator, then followed by an empty pair of braces, right? Bracket braces. And next being variable name, followed by assignment operator, next being a function called list itself, followed by parentheses, pair of parentheses, right? Then initialization of integers, initialization of list can be done like this. Uh, my list, that is your list variable, equals to the list elements enclosed in a pair of square brackets, right? Then here you can see a list mixed with heterogeneous data types, right? Let's see a live demonstration of it, right? Here, my list, my underscore list is equals to, this also creates your list, right? So you print my underscore list. This will give you empty list because there is nothing in it, right? Then you have uh, my list. Probably this will throw an error because the list has already been created. Let's try to use list function and try to create. Okay, it's not throwing an error. All right. So it is going to replace the current list with a new list, which is print. Again, if I'm trying to print my list. Okay. Sorry. All right. I'm going to get an empty pair of square brackets. Right. Just now we have created an empty pair of empty list. Let's go ahead and try to initialize this. Right. My underscore list is equals to a pair of brackets 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3. Right. I press enter and let me try to print this. My underscore list. I press enter. You have that list. As I told you before, I can also have heterogeneous list, heterogeneous elements inside the list. How do I go about that? My underscore list is equals to 0. Let's take up a string, right? Hello. Let's go about floating point number 4.5. Let's go with again a list, shall we? Say 0, comma 1, comma 2, right? Yeah. Print uh, my underscore list, right? There you go. It is not going to throw any error, right? So these are your these are some ways how to create your list. I request all of you to take it down. Yes, take this down. I hope everybody is taking this down, right? Yes, take it down. Various ways of creating and initializing list. Okay, all right. Next, let's say indexing. You can access specific what is it, elements of the list using the index, right? You can access the specific uh, elements in the list. Take this down. Okay, this has been taken. Take this down. See, what I'm trying to do, just know that there are two ways to index a particular list. What is the meaning of indexing? Indexing is nothing but assigning the positions. I mean, it is inherently assigned, yeah, implicitly assigned. But what I'm trying to say is, it is the position of the elements. Always indexing always starts from 0, right? The position of P, the index of P is 0. The index of R in this list is 1. The index of O in this list is 2. B is 3. E is 4, right? Always remember the index starts from 0, right? The length of the index, the length of the list is the last index plus 1, right? The length of the list is always the last index plus 1. The last index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The last index is 4. So the length of the list will be 5, right? So yeah, when you try to access zeroth element, of course, the output should be P. If you try to access second element, the output should be O. If you try to access fourth index, you should get the output as E, right? What do you think if I try to access fifth element, fifth index, my underscore list of 5? What do you think is going to happen? Right. Aditya is right. It will throw an error which says out of index, right? It is going to, Amit, I think you are good at C programming. That's why you are trying to say it null. No, it is not. It is going to throw an error in Python, right? Yeah, hope you have taken this down. Hope this is clear. Let's see practically how it is going to happen. See, in this particular list, what I have designed, my underscore list. When I try to do, wow, how many? What is the last index? 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the last index. See, my underscore list. If I try to access fourth index, here you go. You have an error. List index out of range. It's called the index error, right? List index out of range. So you're going to get that error, right? Okay. Next. Yeah. Before going to nested list, let's see how to iterate through the lists, shall we? Okay. Now that I was using dictionaries. Okay. Now that I have my list is equals to say 0, comma 1, comma 2, comma 3, right? If I want to iterate, if I want to print that particular list, either I can directly use print statement, my underscore list, like I have done till now. It is going to print directly. If I want to print each one of them, here is what I'll do. I'll use for I in my list, my underscore list, colon, print I. This is what I'm going to do, right? What is it going to do? It is going to iterate through each and every element of the list, and it is going to print everything in new line, right? See, here you go. Let me pull this up for you. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's being print one after the other in the new line. If you want to print all these elements consecutively, as I said in earlier classes, you have to use this comma end is equals to pair of empty inverted commas. So when you execute this, you will have the numbers printed one after the other. All right. Okay. Now, if you don't want any intermediate spaces, you just clear that extra space in end uh, constant yeah, end variable, and you'll have all the elements printed consecutively without any space, right? So this is one way. So using uh, for loop, you have done this. Using for loop, there is one more way of doing this. That is, okay, before going to that, let's see len function, length function. Length function returns the size of the list. Okay, print of len of my underscore list. What do you think is the output of this program? What do you think is the output of this program? 4. Why is it not 3? Because indexing starts from 0, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. It should be 3, right? All right, all right. It is 4. 4 elements. The size it is going to return as 4. You're right. You people are right. It is going to return 4. So there is one more way to iterate through the elements in the list. That is using range function, right? For I in range length of my underscore list, right? Then what I'm going to do, print, what should I print? What should I print in order to get the uh, output? What should I print to get the elements? What do you think should I print? Give me the statement. Give me the complete statement. Print of what? Anybody? Print of I. Okay. I'll do as you say. When I print I, the output I'm going to, what should be the expected output? Okay, okay, fine. I'm going to print I as all of you people are suggesting I. Amit, check your program again. Check your suggestion. Do you think that is going to work? All right. I'm going to print the I itself as you suggested. Okay. Okay. I'm going to get 0, 1, 2, 3 itself. All right. I'm going to replace 3 by 6. Right. So what do you think the output will be? What do you think is the output of this particular program? I need answers, people. I need interaction today. 0, 1, 2, 3. Soumya says 0, 1, 2, 3. Anybody? Ishwar says 4. Kavita says 4. Just 4. Okay, okay. See, what is happening? I'm taking a list, and for I in range, what does range do? Range is a function which iterates through the okay. Forget about list. Forget about list. Okay. Now if I put range of 6, what is the output should I get? Forget about list. Let me comment this. Right? What is the output? For I in range 6, print I. What is the output, people? What is the output? Pratisha says 6. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. 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 You people are right. Yeah. If you are going to mention only single integer in range, it is going to assume that the start is 0. It is as good as 0 comma 6, right? So please remember, it is as good as 0 comma 6. So it is going to consider 0 as the starting point and 6 as the end point. So range function prints up to end minus 1. So it is obvious that it is going to print from 0 to 5. Let's see practically, right? Here you go, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in a similar way, when I say, let me uncomment this, then range of len of my underscore list. So what is the expected output? What is the length of this list, people? What is the length of the list? Pratishtha, I want you to unmute and reply to my answers. Reply to my questions. Unmute, Pratishtha. Arshad, go ahead and unmute. Yes, wonderful person. Arshad, okay. Yeah. What is the length of the string? Sorry, what is the length of the list? 4. All right. Length of the list will be printed. So you think the output will be 4? Perfect, perfect. So what is it going to do? It is going to take the length of the list. What is the length of the list? It is 4. So it is going to start from 0 to 4 one by one, and it is going to print 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's see. There you go. Right. So what modification should I do in print function so as to get the elements of my list? Who will tell? I repeat my question. What modification should I do in the print statement in order to get the elements in the list? I want Aishwarya to reply. Aishwarya Chawla. Yes, there are many Aishwaryas in the list. All right, all right. People are giving solutions. It's okay. Uh, uh, Everyone are scared to do. Why? It's okay. See, if you make mistakes, it's okay. We also make mistakes. None of us are perfect, right? It's okay if you make mistake. Okay. Aishwarya, just check your recommendation. Is that correct? My underscore list square braces of I, right? Square braces, not the parentheses, right? When I execute this, I'm going to get the elements of list, right? Please remember this. If I want to iterate through the list, I'm going to do this. Hope this is clear. Hope this is clear with everyone. Please take it down. This is one of the. Does removing length help? Sure. I mean, range. No, no, no. Not just length. I don't think so. Let's try that as well. Right? I think it is going to throw error. Yeah, definitely. See, the parameter to the range should always be an integer, nothing but integer. Right? So it is going to throw error exactly this if I'm not wrong. Pardon me if I'm wrong. It is going to throw this error saying that variable my list is not iterable or something similar. Let's see. Okay, type error. Okay, I'm wrong. Type error which says list object cannot be interpreted as an integer. All right, all right, all right. That's another error. Okay, and this is the error. So yeah, that is a brief introduction of yeah, iteration through for. Hope everybody has taken down. Let's go ahead with while. How do you iterate through while? So I'm going to take one more variable called L is equals to len of my underscore list. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to iterate through while. While L, or perhaps I'm going to take one more variable I is equals to 0 while I lesser than L, print say my underscore list of I, then I need to increment I plus is equals to 1, right? So when I execute this, I'm going to get, all right, why am I not getting any output? I is, oh, smaller, right? Yeah, smaller. See, dumb mistakes. All right. Yeah, let me take you through the code. Here you have a list as usual. Then you are going to take the length of that particular list using len function. Then you are going to take an iterator variable I is equals to 0. Then you are going to iterate through the length of the list. You are iterating the I variable I throughout the length of the list, right? So as you iterate, you are going to print that particular position in which that particular iteration is in, and then you are going to increment the variable. As simple as that. Okay. Hope this is clear. I request all of you to take this code snippet. No, we can't use I++. It's not supported in Python. It's okay. I'll repeat once again. It will be for it will be revision as well. See, here is the list, and then I'm going to take a variable called L and storing the length of the particular list using len function. Then I'm going to take a variable, iteration variable I is equals to 0. Then I'm going to make use of while I is lesser than L. Then I'm going to print all the values iteration by iteration using a print function, print of my underscore list of I. Then I'm going to increment the value of I, as simple as that. Okay. Hope everybody has taken this down. Yes. Moving ahead. Nested lists. Make a note of it. Then we have, as I told you before, list can be a heterogeneous. It can contain all sorts of data, all sorts of constants. So in a similar line of concepts, you have a list which contains lists inside itself, right? This is very useful in matrix operations, right? List inside lists, right? So here is a simple example. N underscore list is equals to happy, which is a string, and then you are going to have another string which contains 2015 as elements inside it, right? Then you have how do you access it? In that case, how do you access it? In order to access happy, you just need to print n underscore list of 0, right? Okay, let me make a live demonstration of it. This is your n list. In order to print just happy, here is what you want to do. What you have to do: n underscore list of 0, right? You'll get happy. In case if you want to get h alone, right? Here is what you have to do: print n underscore list of 0 of one more 0, right? You are iterating through the constant which is inside a list, right? You'll get h. If you want to get a, here is what you have to do: print of n underscore list of 0 of 1, right? You'll get a, so on and so forth. In a similar way, if you want to access the variables of constants of this nested list, what you have to do? Can somebody suggest? Can anybody tell me what should I do in order to access the individual elements in these in the nested list? N list underscore list is not predefined. Vinayak, here I'm listing it. This is one more variable I'm using. Okay, all of you people are correct. I am going to use print of n underscore list of 1 of 0 if I want to access 2. Okay, so on and so forth. I'm going to change the second index. It will be like 1 1 to access 0, 1 2 to access 1, 1 3 to access 5. And one more thing, index is always strictly an integer. It is never ever anything else than integer when it is in list. When we are working with list, it is strictly an integer. Make a note of it. Negative indexing. We'll see programs. We have got n number of programs. If you are waiting for programs, if you are thirsty for programs, I request you to wait for a couple of minutes. We'll get there. We'll see negative indexing. In negative indexing, we'll reverse it. See, in positive indexing, always starts with 0, and it's in the conventional way. It starts from left side towards the right side. But in negative index, you're starting from from right towards left, and it starts from -1, not 0. Please do remember, it starts from -1, not 0. Right? -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Hope you have made a note of it. So can anybody tell me what is the output of my list of -1 with respect to this particular list? E. Perfect. What is the output when I print my list -5? T. Right? What is the output when I print my list of -3? Perfect. Hope you have got it. Hope you have got it. Let's see how to iterate through the negative index. Shall we? Now considering this, let's take I is equals to -1 while let's take length as -1, asterisk -1. I is greater than L, say print my underscore list of I, and I decrement I, right? Make sure you decrement I. This is very confusing, people. Make a note of it. Okay, greater than or equal to. Okay, before doing that, wait, wait. Okay, what do you think is the output of this, people? Amit says no output. Amit, I want you to unmute yourself and tell us all why it is why there will be no output. Amit says you can't enter the loop. Okay, why do you think I can't enter the loop, people? What is the value of I? Okay, let me break the problem step by step. What is the I is lesser than 1? Okay, okay. Now, what is the value of L? What is the value of L? How condition is false? What is the value of L? L L is -4. Amit, I want you to concentrate. L is -4 because I have multiplied the length into -1. Right? L is -4. So is -1 greater than -4? Sixth class mathematics. Is -1 greater than -4 or -4 greater than -1? Okay, you didn't see the multiplication. Okay, all right. Soundarya, what do you think? Is -1 greater than -4 or -4 greater than -1? Okay, -1 is greater. So is the condition true or false in the first iteration? Correct, correct. You people are right. The condition is true. So it comes inside the comes inside the block, the while block. So what is the value of I currently in the first iteration? So what should it print? My underscore list of -1. What should it print? 6. Perfect, perfect. Now what is the value of I here in the line number 6? -2. Perfect. Is -2 greater than -4? Is -2 greater than -4? Yes. So what is my list of -2? 2. Perfect. Then what is the value of I? -3. What is the value of my, is the condition true or false? True. Now, what is the value of my list of -3? 1. Perfect. What is the value of I now? -4. Is -4 greater than L? Perfect. All of you are genius. Correct. Will the control come inside the loop? Will it come? No. Correct. So what will be the output of the snippet? 6 to 1. Perfect. So what modification should I do in order to print all the elements? Perfect. Perfect. I need to put a small equals to sign here. When I execute this, I have 6210. Perfect. Right? So this is your while loop. Okay, now let's come to list slicing. This is a beautiful topic, people. This is a beautiful topic. In this, we'll learn about list slicing. What is slicing? You are going to take a chaku, then you are going to take your list, then you are going to cut the things which you want and keep it and throw the rest of the things. What you are going to do? You are going to take a list, you are going to take a chaku in the sense knife, then you are going to cut the list and keep the things what you want and throw the rest. How do you do it? Python has got its own beautiful way to do it. Let's see how to do it. What is my list? My list is nothing but your programmings. There is a spelling mistake, right? Now you have, if you want, string slicing is done using an operator called colon operator, right? Colon operator, how is it used? It is used in between of two integers, first integer being the start index and the last integer being end index, and you're going to take out the values up to end -1 as usual, right? Now let's go ahead and make use of string slicing. Print of my underscore list of, say, second index till uh, fifth index. Let me add some more values to this, right? So what do you think is the output? 0, 1, 2 from second index to fifth index. 3, 4, some say 269, some say 2698. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we are going to get. 269 people. What did I tell you? It is going to print up to end -1. Precisely. So this is zeroth index, this is first index, this is second index. From second index, including second index, up to end -1. Third index, fourth index, fifth index. But we should not print the fifth index, but the previous one, up to the previous one. Right? So what if I modify this to 1 to 5? What if I modify this 1 is to 1 colon 5? What is the output to expect? 1269. Perfect. Perfect. 1269. I appreciate Soundarya. She has taken pain to type exactly how the output looks. Right? I appreciate that. Shout out to Soundarya. Right? Okay. I love that precision. I love that obsession of being perfect. Nice. Okay. Now, what if I just remove the first index? Okay. What do you think will be the output? 1269. 01269. Perfect. So it is going to assume that the start index is 0 and then it is going to print 01269. Perfect. What do you think? What do you think if I remove both the integers and just put a colon in middle? What do you think will be the output? 0. Okay. Ishwar says 0. Shri Gauri says 0. Komal says all elements. Deepanjali says all elements. Soundarya, again, I appreciate you typed entirely the list. I really appreciate. All right, all right. The thing is, it is going to print the entire string, entire list. Exactly. Right? So if you don't mention anything, it is going to print entire list. So make a note of it. What if you remove colon? Okay, I never checked it. Let's see. Beautiful question. Then you'll have error, invalid syntax. You have an error. Beautiful question, Arjun. Thank you. I don't know. I hope you have laptop. You yourself try. If you get such question, beautiful. You should try. Try hands on. Rather than telling you, if you yourself try it, you'll remember it for further amount of time. All right. So make a note of it. Then coming to negative indexing, what if I put -5 here? What do you think is the output? Soundarya says 012. Okay. Ishwar says 012. Preeti says 6210. Okay, okay. Amit says 4289. Okay, let's go ahead and execute this. Let's see what we get. The output is 012. Make a note of it. Let me explain why it is -5. Sorry, why it is 012. See, the end index is -5, right? This is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Up to -5, it is going to totally ignore, and beyond -5, it is going to print the values. That's how it works, right? What if I put -1 here and try to execute? What do you think is the output? People, if you just listen and leave it, you'll forget. If you write it, you can revise and as well as you'll remember it. Right? Soundarya says it's empty. You're not going to get any output. Pratishtha says 4298. How in the world are you going to get that output, Pratishtha? 4298. Okay, 4289. All right, 4289. Okay, Amit says 0126982. Okay, okay. Let's see what is output. You're going to get empty. You're going to get empty. Can anybody tell me why? Starting position is greater than ending position. Perfect. Perfect. Yogesh Krishna, you are right. Ishwar, yes, as -5 is not beyond -1. Perfect. What is the syntax of slicing? The first thing should be the starting index, and the second thing should be the ending index. As the starting index is greater than ending index, it is not going to return any value. Perfect. Shout out to Soundarya. Soundarya cracked it first. Beautiful. Right? Now, what if I swap these two? What do you think is the output? Okay. The output is 6982. Harishar, Amit says 012. Okay, so we go ahead and execute. Here you go. 6982 is the solution. Can anybody tell me how? -5 is okay, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Here is the starting point, and -1 is the last point to which I'm going to print. But what is the syntax of slicing? It is going to take the previous element of the end element, that is 6982. Up to 2, it is going to take. So the output is 6982. Hope this is clear. Wonderful. Next up in the list, that's it. Right? Okay, okay. There is one more thing. What if I take both of them out and just say 5? Okay, what will be the output? 5 colon. We have tried uh, just mentioning the end points. We have tried just removing everything. We haven't tried just mentioning the start point. What do you think is the output? 2, 4. Why do you think it is 2, 4? I don't understand. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The output is 2, 8, 2, 4. Right? The starting element is also considered. Please do remember, only the end index is subtracted with 1 and taken exclusive. I mean exclusive. The starting point is inclusive, always inclusive, right? Execute this. I have 824. Okay. Hope this is clear. Going ahead with next slide. Where is it? Okay. Okay, that is it. We just discussed, right? Okay, lists are mutable. Let's see how to mute. Mute in the sense edit. I would say edit the list. There are some specific ways of editing lists. You can you know mention the particular index and replace that particular value, right? Can anybody tell me, considering odd is equals to 2469, which is already ironic, odd is equals to 2468, and if I execute this particular operation, odd of 0 is equals to 1, what do you think will I will get when I print odd? What do you think will I get? 1468. Perfect. I'm going to replace the element in 0th position with 1, so the output will be 1468. Arshad, it's just this. What do I get when I execute the selected statements? Odd is equals to 2468, odd of 0 is equals to 1. So when I print odd, what will I get? That is your question. I can also make use of string slicing and replace the entire set of list. I mean subset of list. So how am I going to do it? This string of from 1 to 4th position, that is 1 to 3rd inclusive, 1 to 4th exclusive. I replace 3 5 replace the existing ones with 357. So what will be the output, people? Let's see. 1 0 1 2 3. All right. So I'm going to get 1357. Perfect. Perfect. That is your answer. Next, these are the list methods. Please take it down. You have append, which adds the elements to the end of the list. Clear removes all the elements from the list. Copy, which copies the list to other copies the elements of the list to other list. Then count, which returns the number of elements with the specified value. Okay, if you mention a value inside count counts parenthesis and execute this, you are going to get the number of elements uh, which have that particular value, right? So if you have 1335 in a list, and if you pass the 3 as a parameter to this particular function, you will get 2 as a return, right? I can enlarge it. Please take this down. Coming to first program, are you ready? Write a Python program to sum all the items in the list. I want you to read the list. Okay, before we go to that particular area, let's try to read the list from the user. How do you read the list from the user? There are multiple ways to do so. My underscore list is equals to pair of parentheses. Now there is one method called append method which you can use, right? Which is not desirable because you need to ask the user to enter the size of the list beforehand. So that is not recommended. So you can use the split function and input function at the same time. Is equals to list of input dot split, right? Let's see if this is going to work. Perfect. Perfect. Now you have list of strings, right? Now in this particular snippet, what we are going to get? When does it terminate? When we press enter. We are trying to feed the values using delimiter as space. So when you press enter, it is going to exit. So what I'm trying to do, input is a function which reads the input from the user in the form of string. Then it is going to read 1, 2, 3, 4 at a time, at a stretch as a string. Then it is going to split. What is split function? It is going to split the elements wherever it sees space. So if it sees one space two, it is going to split one and two separately. Wherever there is space, it is going to split it. So dot split. How do you use it? Dot split. Then you are going to feed the entire thing into list function, list method, and then what is it going to do? It is going to take all these elements and it is going to store in my list as list. Right? Seems a bit complicated, but this is it. If you want to convert that particular list into integer, here is what you do. For I in range my underscore, okay, length of my underscore list, right? Colon my underscore list of I is equals to int of my underscore list of I. There is definitely a better way to do it, efficient way to do it, but let's start with simple, right? Enter the elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I forgot to print it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you go. Hope you are taking a note of it. Yes, make a note of it. There are much more efficient ways to come up with single line for loop. All those things are there. But for time being, let's go ahead with this. Right? This is simple, effective. Sure. Sure, Arzu. Here you have, what do we have? You have my list as list variable. Okay. Let's start with inside. Input function which reads the input from the user. It is going to read the entire input at once. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4. Right? This entire thing is read as a string. Now, what does dot split do? Dot split is a function which separates the list wherever there is space. Okay, we can also add a delimiter. Let's not go there yet. What is it going to do? By default, it is going to split the elements wherever there is space. So there will be four separate elements. That will be one, two, three, and four. So these total elements are going to be stored as a list into my list using list method. Okay, list is a method which reads the string inside as a parameter, and then it is going to store that particular string as a list in my list. Right? Then moving ahead, you have a list of strings. All right, just like this, you have list of strings. Then what you want to do? You want to convert these elements into integer. You don't want strings. So you're going to iterate through the list, and then you are going to convert each and every element of the particular list into integer, and then going to store the same value in the same place. You're going to pick up the string 1, convert it into integer, then place that particular integer in the same position, the position being I itself. Right? The evaluation in the programming language happens from right to left. Always remember, from right towards left. So after the for loops execution, you end up with a list having integers in them. This is how you read values from list. I want you to read the list from the user and then find the sum of the elements in it without using any function. Any function explicitly for summing up the elements. Soundarya has given the correct answer. List. All right, all right. Sum is equals to 0. So, okay. Can you reduce it, Soundarya? Can you reduce the number of lines? Do you think it is possible? Aditya. Split. Perfect. Aditya has given the solution. What do you need to do? You need to take up, let me, sum underscore. Sum is a method, people. Let's not use sum as a variable. Sum is equals to 0. Then what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to replace this with sum plus is equals to int of my list. Okay, then I'm trying to print sum. Okay, sum underscore. Then when I execute this, I have 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4. I have 10 as the output. Let's check. 3, 6, 10. Perfect. As simple as that. I don't want you to complicate things. Oh my god, so complex. Why, Naima? Why do you want to, convert the entire thing and store it in my list, and again, go ahead with another for loop which calculates sum? That is totally unnecessary. Okay, print. You have printed beautifully. No problem. Great. Okay. Hope you have got it. Anybody who didn't understand, please go ahead and comment on. Put a text on chat box. All right. Moving ahead. Where is my PowerPoint? Okay. Next. Write a Python program to multiply. My English. Multiply all the elements or items in the list. Same way. Make a small change. You'll have a solution. In this case, why we cannot do? See, my list is a list. The parameters for range should be strictly an integer, as I told you before. Okay, my list is not an integer. My list is your list. Okay, so you can't do that. Sure. You can do that as well. You can do. I'm just lazy. Why do you want to type all those things? Right? You'll get the exact same output. Much more efficient. There you go. Right? You get the exact same output. Next problem, people. We don't have much time. I request all of you people to bug up. Please show me the output. Show me the solutions. What should I modify in this particular program to get the product of all the elements in the list? Okay, Soundarya has given a wonderful solution. That's right. Okay. See, instead of plus, I need to use asterisk. Right? That's it. But naming convention should be changed. Right? Product. Right? Naming convention. Very important. Product. Right? Let's see. One, two, three, four. Oh, wow. Okay. One, two, three, four. Right. Okay. There is there. Okay. We bumped into a bug. Okay. What is it? You said we need to multiply it. Why shouldn't we do that? Perfect. Komal has got it right. It should be not zero. It should be one. Because if it is zero, you multiply anything with zero, it returns zero itself. Right? Beautiful, Komal. I forgot to notice it. Perfect. You have one, two, three, four. Okay, you have 24. Two, three, so six. Six, four, so 24. Perfect. Okay. Moving ahead. Anybody has any doubt? Please mention it in the chat box. Next. Write a Python program to get the largest number in the list without using any function which does so. Right? Don't use any function to find out largest. Just write your own logic. Largest in the given list. Let's see who does that first. Largest in the given list. You have 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. Why 2 minutes? 50 seconds. Okay, Soundarya. Soundarya has got the solution. Max is equals to 0 if I. Perfect. Okay, can you reduce it to a single for loop? Soundarya, you are using for loop redundantly. Can you reduce? The solution seems perfect. I want you to reduce the for loop. Okay, Aditya has got it. Large. Okay, perfect. Aditya, are you sure? Aditya, it seems you're missing something. Probably it might work, but I'm not sure. You're missing something. Can you compare strings which contains numbers? Just check on it. Okay. Okay. Amit, just check if you can check the strings. You can compare the strings and you'll get the same output. Let me check on that. You have max is equals to, okay, max is also a function. Max is equals to 0 if max underscore is greater than I. Okay, it should be smaller than, right? Right. Max underscore is equals to I. Let's check the output. Okay, not supported. Right. See, it does not support. Let me try with this. Perfect. If you try like this, you'll get it. All right. There is one more way to do it, efficient way. My underscore list of assign the first element itself. Problem solved. In that case, you can reduce one iteration unnecessarily. You are going to calculate one more iteration, but you you can reduce it using this range of 1 comma length of my underscore list, right? So doing so, let's see if we are going to get right. Let's see instead. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Replace this with my underscore list of I, right? Perfect. Perfect. You have your solution. Right? This is I just reduced one iteration. Right? Efficiency people. You need to check for efficiency. So yeah, hope this is clear. Yes. For the next program, I'm going to compete with you people. Okay, who will solve the next program first? Hope you are making separate files for each program so that you can upload to your GitHub. Make separate files for each program. Don't do it like me. Right? Next program. Are you ready? Yes. Let's go ahead with next program. To get the smallest number. Let me see. Smallest number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. I solved it. Anybody? Sunil, I asked you not to use minimum. I asked you use not to use any of the functions. Hmm? You need to learn how to build up logic. Aditya, and that is not possible. What you are trying to do is not possible. List is equals to list of input. No, it is going to throw an error. Komal, uh, let's see. Oh, is it? List is equals to int of list. Is it? Does it work? I seriously doubt this. I once tried to do this and it didn't work for me. See, it doesn't work. Okay. Soundarya, let's see. Yep, you got it right. Right? Okay. Moving ahead. Hope this thing is clear for you. If you want to take down the solution, please take it down. Right? Moving ahead. Perfect, perfect. You people are right. Moving ahead. Write a Python program to remove duplicates from the list. Let's see who does this first. Write a Python program to remove duplicates in the list. Okay, done. Anybody? One, 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 two, two, three, three. Okay, we bumped into an error. Okay, let's see what is the problem. Uh, right. My underscore list of J. Correct. Out of index. Let's see where we went wrong. Out of index. Okay. Got it. Finally. Yes. Somebody. Pratishta has done it. Pratishta, let's see your solution. Pratishta, do you think your solution works? I don't think so. Where are you comparing? Where are you comparing the extra? Why is it throwing type error? That's what Aditya. That's what you are trying to say. You're. It is not possible to convert the list directly into, uh, 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 a string directly into integer. You're trying to convert this string. Okay. So you're trying to convert one space, two space, three space, four. This is a string. You're trying to convert this directly into integer. That is not possible. That is meaningless. Okay. Anybody? Yes. I also stumbled upon quite a few times. So let's see who has come up with solution. Pratishta, I doubt your solution is going to work. Are you using an interpreter? Did you try to execute it? Are you getting a optimum solution? Minus dot count of x. My underscore list dot remove removes all the occurrences of x without leaving anything, isn't it? Sure. I'll explain. Arshad, I'm letting people to try. I'll explain. Amit, your error says it can convert a number to a string into integer, but not a list altogether. What are you trying to say, Yogesh? Yogesh, let's not confuse people. We have people who can clear doubts, so let's stick with them, right? Thank you for your support. Okay, let's see Pratishta's solution again. Pratishta, I seriously doubt your solution, and here it's why. Uh, don't you think dot remove function totally and altogetherly removes all the occurrences of x? No, I executed. Okay, okay. So yeah. Okay, okay. I'll do check once. Okay, before going to that, let's see this particular solution. This is simple but not efficient. I would say this is simple, and let's see what we can do. Here, as I told you before, I'm going to read the input from the user. Let me start from scratch. Here, many people are facing issues, right? See, I'm going to read the input from the user as a string, right? Basically, it is going to read this entire thing as a string, right? Then it is going to split. How is it going to split? Wherever there is a space, it is going to split those two particular consecutive elements. See, in middle of one and one, there is a space. So it is going to split one as one element and the second one as another, right? So, and so on and so forth. Here you have multiple elements. So after applying the split, okay, sorry, a split method, it is going to separate all the elements into individual elements. Separate the entire string into individual elements. Here, the entire string is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. It will be split as 1 as a separate element, 1 as a separate element, 2 separate, 3 separate, and 3 separate. Right? Now, next, once it is split, it is converted into list. So implicitly, when you split, it is going to get converted into tuple, which we are going to see later. So I want it as a list, right? So you are converting the tuple into list and storing it into a variable called mylist, right? You are not converting the integer themselves. The resulting will be tuple. That tuple you are trying to convert back to list, and you are going to store it in mylist variable. Hope this is clear. Some of you people, what you are doing, you understand that the entire list is made up of strings, so you want to convert all the elements into integers. I understand. So what your people are trying to do, you are trying to do this my underscore list is equals to int of my underscore list, which doesn't work. I'll tell you why. You are converting. What does int function do? It takes a string variable or a float variable or a constant and convert it into integer. But here what you are trying to do, you are trying to read the list variable and trying to convert it into integer, which is not possible, right? So it is going to throw an error. Please don't do it. If you want to do it, you need to use a for loop. Inside a for loop, you iterate one element after the other, fetch it, convert it into integer, then replace that particular position with the integer correspondent, right? So once you do that, which is not necessary as of now, so you are going to take a new list. I understand it is not very efficient, but simple. It is simple. Let's go ahead with simple solution. You have a new list. You're going to create a new list. Then what you're going to do, you're going to iterate all the elements one by one using for loop. You're going to iterate the initial or the parent list one by one using I iterator. Then you're going to check if I is in new list. That is the new list, right? The new one which you have created. If it is in not in new list, not in operator, we are using not in operator. If it is not in new list, it is going to append I towards it end, or else if it is empty, it is going to put it in first place itself, right? So on and so forth. Where once in the first iteration, it is going to append one into its first position, that is zeroth index, and then it is going to I is going to get one as its value. Then I is go in this particular if condition, it is going to check if this particular value is already inside new list. As in the second iteration, it is found that it is already inside the new list. It is not going to execute this, which is appending the new value inside the new list, which it is not going to do. It is again going to go ahead with the next iteration, that is 2, and the value of I is 2 now. Now it is going to check if 2 is present in new list or not. As it is not present, it is going to append the value 2 into the new list, right? So this is so on and so forth. It is going to get executed until the last element, and you have removed all the duplicate elements from the particular list. As simple as that. Okay. Now let's see Pratishta's solution. Okay. Now we have 1 space 2 space 3 space 4 space 5. Oh, I need to put redundant values, right? Beautiful. It seems to work. Let's see how it works. You're reading it, you're iterating it. My list dot count. Count returns. Okay, if it is greater than 1, dot remove. Okay, it is going to keep. Okay, with this, we can learn that it is going to keep that particular value and remove the rest of it. Right? So, yeah, this is one plausible solution which you can make use of. Perfect. Thank you, Pratishtha. Thanks for your solution. Right? Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts with this? This is most efficient. So far, this is most efficient solution we have got. Right? Make a note of it. Next, going ahead with next problem, we have write a Python program to check if a list is empty or not. Write a Python program to check whether the given list is empty or not. Right? Let's see who does this first. Count. Right? So let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not empty. Empty. Beautiful. Okay, people, in this, it is very simple. I'm going to check whether the length of the list is 0. If it is 0, I'm going to print empty. If not, I'm going to print not empty. So there can be multiple solutions, right? So this is one possible solution. I want you to make a note of it, right? It's simple. There is nothing in this. Okay, going ahead. Write a Python program to clone or copy a list. Let's see how to do it. Clone or copy a list. Say copied list is equals to this for I in my underscore list. Copied list dot append I. Okay. Print copied list. Perfect. Let's go ahead and check the solution. 1 space 2 space 3 space 4. We have copied list printed. Okay. Beautiful. Without using append function, can anybody execute the same operation without using append function? Yes. Let's see how to do that. Is equals to 0. Copied list of. Okay. Let's take one more variable. J is equals to 0. Copied list J is equals to I. J plus is equals to 1. Okay. Seems to work. Okay. Index auto. Oh, right. This doesn't work. Right. Because there is no such position called 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 in copied list. This doesn't work. Right. You need to use append function. See, this is how you learn. Trial and error. Right. Okay. Uh, Beyond this, let's go ahead and do this small exercise. Hope everybody got this. Yes. Beyond this, let's go ahead and do this my underscore list. Right. Now, copy append is used to add an element towards the at the end of the given list. That is why append is used. Okay, seems like people have not understood it. Let me. Okay, see, it is going to iterate through the contents of my list and into the variable I, iterator variable I, and this I, what append does do, what append does is, it is going to take this particular list, it is going to append in the sense add or concatenate at the last the value I. So this value I is taken and it is added at the end of copied list one by one. That's what it does, right? So there is this one more exercise what I wanted you to perform. Okay. So let's completely comment this. Okay, what do you think is the output of this particular snippet, people? Oh, Aditya has given a wonderful solution. Yes, yes. It works, Aditya. It works. Arshad says it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Any other solution? Amit says it is 0004. Vivid answers. Karthik says it is 0, 1, 2, 3. Any other answers? Aditya, what do you think? Soundarya says 1, 0, 1, 2, 4. Okay. Preeti says 0, 1, 2, 4. Any other answers? Yogesh says 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and execute this. Let's see what we're going to get. 0, 1, 2, 4. Why do you think it is happening? List is mutable. Okay. Third index is replaced. Okay, I understand it is replaced, but I'm printing my list. The values of my list is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I am replacing the third index of copied list to 4. I'm not touching my list at all. But still, it is changing the value at 4. Why do you think it is happening? Yes, Amit is very, very excited. He cannot control the amount of frustration. Understand? People, now that Amit has said it, there are, yes, exactly. Amit is right. Reference is copied, the address is copied, right? The address, in the sense, the address of my list, when you do this, the reference of my list is being copied to copied list. Okay, so essentially both of them are same. Both of the lists are same. Okay, this is called simply copy. What we did previously is deep copy, the append thing. Okay, deep copy in the sense make a separate copy of it. Here we are just copying the reference or the address of the place or the memory address where this particular list is stored. As simple as that. So if you make any changes in copied list, it will also be reflected in my list, because essentially both of them are pointing to the same address in the memory, right? As simple as that. Shallow copy, yes. Hope this is clear. I had so many problems. It's okay. Write a Python function that takes two lists and return true if they have at least one common member. I want you people to do that. Do this. I want you people to execute. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Yes. Let's see who has solved this. See, lists. These are very, very huge topics. I haven't even completed 10% of lists. So hurrying is of no point. Let's go slow. Okay, Soundarya. Soundarya, read the question. Write a Python function that takes two lists and returns true if they have at least one common member. Okay, first of all, you have not defined a function. Second of all, it is going to print true number of times. It is going to print true the number of times where there are common members. If there are two common members, it is going to print true two times. Sorry. Yeah. If they are having two common members, it is going to print true twice, thrice, four times, so on and so forth. So yeah, so totally out of the definition, problem definition. Anybody else? Let's see. So, As simple as that. Anybody with the solution? Oh my God, what has he done? Okay. Aditya, your solution is totally not efficient. Let's see Soundarya's solution. Soundarya, again, ma, why are you using that FUN? What is that FUN? You define your function properly. What is that? Again, not efficient. Let's see. True. False. There you go. This is as simple as it. Okay, why do you want to complicate things? I don't understand. Is in keywords iterate through the list? No, it does not. It does not iterate. Okay, what do you mean? Is in keyword iterates through the list? Yes. In for loop, it does. That's what we are doing since evolution. If you meant to say, does it checks with every element? Then yes. Yeah, that's what we are doing since starting. But where is your concentration? Okay, this is your solution. Please make a note of it. Let me explain. I'm going to take two lists, and then I'm going to pass it, uh, pass those two lists in a function check underscore common. Okay, in check underscore common, you accept those two lists and iterate through the first list. And for every element in the first list, you're going to check if the particular element is in second list using in operator. Okay, then if that is true, you're going to return true. Else you are going to iterate false. Right? Any doubts? So I think time is up. So let's wind up the session for the day here. Okay, hope you are clear with list. Very, very important topic. List